Welcome to So You're Kinda a Big Deal, a weekly podcast deep diving into the lives of emerging and established tattoo artists. Listen in as we dig into origin stories, industry hot topics, and what it takes to survive in the world of tattooing. This is Tattoo Shop Talk. It's funny, it's crass, inspiring, and sometimes we get it right. Join your hosts Sean Headley and Dave Allen every week as we host a new guest. The Hold Fast Social Club keeps expanding and adding features to make the life of tattooers easier. We just launched a classified section for pros only. Sell your tattoo gear, prints, whatever, in one spot. No sus scratchers. This is on top of a platform with peer-to-peer vouching, direct connect, a wait list, and geo-searching. Now you can find guest spots or forever homes at studios everywhere. No guessing, no awkward conversations. See what shops or artists have to offer. Mark them as favorites or add yourself to their wait list to let them know you are interested. Hold Fast Social Club keeps adding features to make connecting easy. Pros only, a place where the best.
Everyone knows Dave and I have a good guy connection, but we also have that with most respected supply companies. Working alongside Lucas at Classic Tattoo, I saw firsthand the blood, sweat, and pressure he was under to provide top quality products. He knew I'd shit all over his ideas if they sucked. He also knew that many online would follow suit. Being passionate and having a deeper connection to producing products your peers will use and love is no small task. With Lucas, Rob, and Natalie at the helm, you know exactly what you're getting. High quality products, fairly priced with excellent customer service. Shop, support, Good Guys Supply.
Homestead Tattoo is where you will find Kevin Pregitzer applying old classic style Japanese tattoos in a warm and inviting atmosphere. This private studio can be found in Calgary, Alberta, online at Kevin P. YYC and homesteadtattooyyc.com.
The Hold Fast Social Club presents So You're Kinda a Big Deal with your hosts Sean Headley and Dave Allen. Wow, you're live. Host to coast.
I don't go any closer or whatever.
No, you look good just like that.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah.
very good.
Perfect mug shot.
Yeah, totally.
I didn't do much today, but I'm fucking tired already.
Oh, fuck.
How are
Oh,
you, how are you doing?
I had like a horrible day at tattoo shop today.
Really?
Oh, just one of those days you just go,
Oh, yeah. I
yeah,
cleaned my shop, had a beer, and left.
nice.
Yeah. I went in and touched up a tiny little tattoo behind an ear that my apprentice did and didn't do well. And then I left.
Well, with the head cold,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, man.
this age, I would walk into a shop like if I was anything more than 99% or less than 99%.
Oh, fuck. You've moved out of the city? You've moved out of Montreal and you're in, where are you now?
In Joliet, it's a little town, 70 couple kilometers east.
Oh, nice.
Well, I'm not even in Joliet. I'm outside of Joliet in St. Charles Borromée, and it's basically a couple minutes away. I have fields, cows, horses, pastures, forest.
nice.
The dog loves it. So
Amazing.
the winter, can't really walk. There's no sidewalks.
Well, that's when you get a couple more dogs and buy a sled.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
well,
totally.
she's gonna be 2 years old on Saturday, so she's gonna be fully grown. So we're gonna start doing this winter with the kids.
Sweet. Fuck. That's awesome.
Nice. Awesome. Simon, thank you for joining us on So You're Kind of a Big Deal. We'll start with a real generic thing just to tell everybody who you are.
Simon Golygowski. Uh, I don't know what else. I guess a lot
That's
of
it. We're
people.
done. Good.
We're done.
A lot of people heard a lot of gossip and crazy things about me. Most of the crazy things is true. Most of it is made up.
Uh, and
Most of
you,
the stories are for somebody that heard something that heard something. You know.
Yeah. Maybe we'll
yeah.
have to ask Doug for that famous picture of you in the chair at the Bushido
Oh,
convention after party.
yeah. I don't remember that. I remember
You better
having.
wait for the picture.
No, was that with? There's the picture with everybody and me sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah. You sleeping, sitting up, and everybody's around you. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. I
Amazing.
wish I had that actually. Did I have my pencil on that one or no?
I don't remember.
Who knows? There's so many pictures. Right?
Yeah, you're not supposed to leave evidence behind, Simon. You should. You have lived an amazing life, and you're definitely infamous in the industry. But you're so well respected and loved by those who know you.
The ones that know me a lot are probably a little less respectful.
Oh no, I don't know. Everyone I know that actually knows you actually speaks speaks really highly of you. In fact, are defensive right out of the gate if anyone hints at anything negative. So
Well, that's nice. That's sweet to hear, you know. But
yeah,
I know I'm very annoying, but I can be pretty nice too.
I've never seen.
All of us?
Yeah, totally. In our own ways. I annoy the fuck out of Sean. It doesn't take much.
I know the fuck out of Dave. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, but you're still laughing, right? You guys are
Yeah.
still talking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey Simon, when did you get your start, and where did you get that start?
Actually, 30 years ago last week.
Woo!
Congratulations.
That's a big one.
The only reason I remember that is the Perseide, whatever you pronounce it, the shower the earth goes through every.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right? Yeah, so Adventure Tattoo with D.W. Bryant. I was living on the street then, right? Well, they've heard the stories. But living on the street, and I was camping, and about 2 hours north of Toronto. So I had to keep driving down to try to meet with D, and he was either working or whatever, like, and I was a kid. I had no tattoos. I had no what the fuck I'm talking about. Come back, come back. Finally, okay, call on this day and this day, on this time, this day, and we'll talk to you. So we're camping, man. Tons of Polacks drinking, camping, and around Wasaga Beach or something like that. And call, drive, find somebody sober, right, to drive me to a phone booth. This is before cell phones and shit, right? To a phone booth, bunch of quarters, drive me. I'll call back in an hour. Try again. Nobody's sober anymore in the afternoon. We're selling, we're getting the least drunk person to drive me to a phone booth, but first to a liquor store so they can pay us all, not a beer store, so they can pay us all in quarters so I can pay, you know, the phone. Finally, these like, come in tomorrow at 10 in the morning. We'll have a meeting. And after a couple hours of drawing for him, draw me this, draw me that. Okay, you start tomorrow, $5 an hour, 10 to 10. See you tomorrow.
$5 an hour.
6 days a week, 12 hours a day.
30 years ago, the minimum char or the minimum wage would have probably been like $7. So
No, man, what the hell? I was 475. No, that's when I started. Yeah, five something. I didn't after taxes. I used to work at a car wash. 10 and a half hours. I barely made $50, like maybe 49 something.
yeah.
And I was all wet, bleeding, dirty as fuck. We used to steal from the cars, so I had another $50 of dimes and quarters. It was a little more than working in a tattoo shop and
That transition to early 90s tattooer was not hard for you.
No.
No.
Was he paying you hourly to tattoo or to
No,
clean up and?
This was proper, right? Hang out, clean, help, listen, shut the fuck up. Obviously, I got told that many times before. After, first month, yeah, and then drawing. I drew for like almost 3 months, just stencils, like not drawing, but drawing stencils, He had something like 10,000 pieces of flash in the shop, so I was redoing a lot of those stencils, getting them ready and stuff. They're all reusable, obviously. And so that was, yeah, August. And I think finally his brothers are like, dude, if you want to be serious, you should fucking tattoo yourself. He's like, oh, this is what you do. I don't know. Nobody tells me this stuff. So I'm like, hey, D, I think I'm ready to tattoo myself. He's like, all right. Set it up and shaved my left calf and fucking I did a skull on a stick in the wind.
Ooh. Wound.
The skull was a big pus head, influence, shall we say, ripoff.
Yeah.
Oh, like the Zorlak skateboards one.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. That's
So, yeah,
awesome.
that was my start, I already supposedly met a bunch of tattoo. Like, I thought I met Bill Baker. Supposedly it wasn't him. Tattoo-rama.
Could have been him then.
He said he never had a mustache, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, you had a mustache. Like, dude, I
Oh
never had
yeah, no, he never had a mustache.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Ew, Bill with a mustache, that'd be gross.
I think Bill's gross enough, yeah. But watching him getting old, I mean, but we're not all pretty. But so I walked into Tatarama a few months before that, but they're like, come back in a few months. A few months later, life changed, shit like that, and D hired me. The best part, one of the learning things is like every day there would be other like wannabe tattooers, like young kids, punks, metalheads, whatever, walking in and just giving me the evil eye because they've been trying to get hired for like a year or months or 2 years or whatever. And I never knew that's a kind of a thing, I got hired like a couple meetings, but I could draw, I could paint. They already see the difference of the world changing, So
Yeah.
tattooing that people want to come in and get a Bugs Bunny on a rhinoceros, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just the same old panther name.
In the style of Frazetta.
So
Actually, one of the
This
drawings
big.
I had to do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did it on my middle finger.
Yeah.
But that's one of the drawings he asked me to do. He's like, okay, draw Rose, draw Goofy, draw Mickey Mouse, draw this. Now draw me Bugs Bunny in a cowboy hat with a gun riding on a rhinoceros. All right.
I would love to see that drawing.
Yeah, me too.
I would love to see that tattooed. That's
I don't think I ever tattooed it.
oh, dude,
I
that's
still remember drawing it on graph paper.
oh
Oh,
fuck.
wow.
I remember that, Yeah, 30 years ago last week.
Crazy.
That is amazing. Now, how long did you work with D?
He let me go in December because winter, it's Canada. Hired me back in March again, and then he died like a year later, so maybe a year and a half. I worked for his wife just to pay off the bills after he died, closed the shop. She moved back to Windsor. So I never really finished my apprenticeship. After that, I was just kind of wandering from one bad place to a fucking another until France and Montreal, pretty much, So many years.
What was next? Your wanderings took you where? And
Fuck. Yeah, stuff like that you shouldn't say on the internet, Recorded.
you don't have to get into specifics.
Yeah. Mississauga was a fucked up shop. I don't even remember the name. Horrible. I left after a couple months. We all lived there, One guy was a junkie, one was a fucking super pothead. I was still like 19 and a half. I realized that they don't want to be clean. They don't want to do proper tattooing, so I just left. Worked out of the home. Moved. Tried a couple little things here and there, but nothing sticking more than a couple hours or a day. Moved to Ottawa. Worked at a place called Agitprop. Just violence and drugs and what you can imagine in the 90s. Working for another psychopath.
Yeah.
At least my first psychopath had 3 degrees from universities, business, marketing, paid his dues. But this guy was like proper crazy. Well, his name was Crazy Frank, right? So he really earned that name.
I think there were a lot of crazy dudes in Ontario back then.
Yeah,
Crazy Dave, Psycho Dave.
I went to visit Crazy Ace at Psycho Dave, yeah, well, that guy. But he's nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, psychedelic
Absolutely.
was sweet. Yeah, Crazy Ace threw me out of his shop a couple times and sicked the dog on me. Like that. Couple different Labrador colors. I didn't even know Labrador's sick fucking people, but
Um,
yes, from Ottawa, spent a couple years there, totally burned out, and went to France and discovered like, oh shit, art, tattoos. They really love this. You get fucking paid, you know. I had to used to wear cargo pants because we used to get so much money that I like my pockets were full by the end of the day, you know, because it was francs. This is before euros, so 100 francs was $20. So you'd be paying tens of thousands of francs sometimes, right? And you had to fuck
amazing.
them everywhere, you know. But when you take your money,
Insane.
you have it all in, yeah. We stopped counting. Like you take people out to a bar, and this was France back in the 90s. You know, you take out 7 of your buddies drinking for a few hours, and the final bill was like $47. And, are you fucking serious? Fuck it, just here, just here's a pile of money, and just give us. Yeah,
Oh,
France.
So, what was the difference? You touched on a little bit between France and custom tattooing and what you had been experiencing in Ontario, Southern Ontario at the time.
Well, all flash in Canada, Ontario was all flash all the time. I already went to New York. I went to Brooklyn a little bit. Could have had a job there, but when I came back, a few weeks later, a few months later, my place got broken into. They stole my passport, all my shit, my tattoos, stuff. Actually, I had it with me, but everything I had was lost. And back then, it took me almost a year to get my passport back and stuff. So I didn't go back to Brooklyn, but I had to work in Ottawa. Just horrible, horrible place for a guy named Crazy Frank. And because I worked for him, all the other tattoo shops wouldn't even look at me or talk to me,
Uh,
because by reputation, by proxy, like, oh, you're with
yeah.
that, fuck that shit. Nobody
yeah.
would talk. And like Universal Tattoo was and Dan Alliston, New Moon Tattoo, Well, Dan, he was nice, but everybody else was pretty, Dan still wouldn't take me, like I switch shops, but nobody else would even basically blink my way or, piss on me if I was on fire.
Yeah. Damn.
But I got stories and stories from those 2 years at that shop, like
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
violence, parties, drugs, and, rock and roll. Not
Yeah.
money. There's no money. But even if you made 17 tattoos a day on like Canada's day, like 17 maple leaves in a row made in Canada shit and still, barely paid fucking rent.
Oh,
Yeah.
so crazy.
That shop said they're gonna make it for 45. You said 50. I'm like, okay, I'll make it for. Well, I walked back. How about you do it 40? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's why I like going in guest spotting with Keith Stewart,
Yeah.
Tattoo Art Physique in the early 90s, because if somebody tried that, then he'd be like, they go down the fucking street.
He seeked the Labrador on me too. I had to run in 2000.
Oh, oh my God.
Yeah, I still got my nice Keith Stewart tattoo from when I used to go and guest
Oh, yeah.
spot.
Wow.
Yeah, it was funny. He was tattooing me and Pierre standing over him. Pierre's only like 19 at the time, and this would have been probably 97.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Pierre's just like, "Why are you sweating, Keith?" And he's like, "Yeah, get fuck off, get away from me!" Like waving the machine at Pierre's face and shit, and smoking, and yeah, that I love that time.
I'm sure it was amazing. I heard stories. I know Pierre a long time, and I
Yeah.
heard all that stuff. And
But yeah, it's just we all have similar stories from if you tattooed in the 90s, we all have similar stories. Just different characters.
but you were out east for a while, right, Sean?
I started in Toronto and
Yeah.
then I went to Vancouver in 94.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I just started guest spotting like every September pretty much for a few years. I would just go and work at Tatouage Artistique. And then Pierre opened Tattoo Mania, so then I would just go and guest spot there for a while and stuff. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't custom shops and guest spotting didn't occur to me till like 99 or something like that.
Oh yeah. Crazy.
Never,
So how did you pick France? Like, what made you go, hey, I'm going to France?
Actually, a French tattooer, we're brothers now, came to Ottawa. His first trip, he's already been tattooing for like 20 years or something like that, 15 years. And his first trip ever, because he was a tattooer, he came to Canada. He came to Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec. He moved on. And he's seen me and he wanted to get tattooed by me. Like I looked like I was 14 years old. He was already like heavy duty dude, proper heavy duty, gold tooth and shit. Was already getting gray and heavy tattooed. And after I tattooed his neck, we went out for chicken wings and beer. He couldn't speak English. His wife barely speak any English. I didn't speak any French. Brought a friend along that supposedly took French immersion for 7-8 years, and he can pronounce bonjour. So we had the best night fucking ever. Tattoo, like connection,
Yeah.
like proper thing. Like, oh shit. And he's like, dude, whenever you're in Europe, whatever, you come on down. A few months later, my dad died, so I had to go to Europe. And from Poland, I went to Paris. I think I stopped over in Amsterdam for a bit, to chill out. But went to Paris and tried to call him for 3 days. And his apprentice supposedly spoke English, but never did. He couldn't understand my English. I couldn't understand their fucking French. It's not even French. It's Bretagne. Like it's, like northern west. It's Celtic and shit. And I said, fuck it. I took a train and went to Angers and left him a letter in his shop. The shop was closed on Sunday. I left a letter. Next day, he fucking knocks on my hotel door. He's like, let's go. I'm like, what the fuck? Where are we going? Well, staying with me. And since then, we're brothers. We're family.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How long did you stay with him?
You know what? I don't remember that time, but for the next something like 6 years, I was basically in Europe like 6 months of the year. And
Oh,
mostly with him. I would go to Amsterdam from time to time to party, to Prague or whatever, but mostly in France with him. And just like I said, we're fucking working. Like, man, especially when there was only two tattoo shops in that town, 3 huge universities.
Wow.
So there was fucking lineups, especially since one was actually an American university, and another one was farmer rural, and the other one's like some Christian big university of the whole northwest. So as soon as people found out there's a Canadian tattooer, fuck man, like doubled. It's like
yeah.
it was amazing. It was the most amazing thing though was he would go at 9:30, open up the shop. I'd be there at 10. At 10:05, there would be a garçon from the hotel, like around the block, with a plate, with a tasse, whatever the fuck, with the towel.
Yeah.
Have shots, Perrier, and espresso. And then hey, what do we tip this guy? He's like, you don't tip him. This motherfucker gets as much money as we do. Oh, okay. And he would wait while we drank for like 10, 15 minutes, and then he would leave at fucking 10:10, 10:15. And then the clients at 1 p.m., okay, Simon, arrête. I'm like, what? I'm not even done the fucking outline. What are we doing? Like, stop, man. We're going to lunch. I was like, dude, let me finish. No, he would unplug my machine and plug, like, yeah, it's lunchtime. Wrap me up. Like, the stencil's not even finished yet. The lining's not finished. We'd go for an hour and a half, 2 hours to a restaurant, a couple bottles of wine, fucking aperitif, digestif, fucking tons of coffees, rabbit and white wine sauce with green peas. Like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Of course I started going back as much as I could, And, he loved me. I fell in love with him. His wife was amazing. Everybody I met was amazing. Like, like I felt home. It felt like home. I still,
Yeah.
like, Montreal is the longest place I ever lived, but Bretagne is like, I think about it every day.
Oh, amazing.
When was the last time you were there?
Oh, it's got to be 6, 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But a year or two before I open up my shop, and once you open up a shop, I got the hand,
Yeah.
kind of, and I just closed it, and I was like, "Fuck, really? That was 5 years? What the fuck?"
It's incredible.
Yeah. Damn.
That was a cool little shop you had.
Yeah.
It was a good location. It had a good vibe. It was Shops always look cooler in Montreal than they do in fucking BC for the most part because the fucking buildings are old. Here it's like, fuck, everything's brand new or like built in the 80s. It's just like,
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the shop you have now or the one I seen the big windows, the
yeah,
like
yeah.
huge things. Fuck, I love that. Yeah, my windows were huge, but I was paying $630 for fucking electricity in the winter.
Oh, brutal.
Month. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
good.
So, how did you end up in Montreal?
Crazy Frank.
He drove you there.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Get the fuck out. You can't work in town.
yeah. After work, no. He took me. He brought me.
Oh, okay.
Um, after France, like many years in France. When was this? Well, yeah, 23 years ago. My parents wanted to start a company, a trucking company. So they're like, "Come on, you're a kid. You know computers. You can help us with all this shit." I was like, "Oh Jesus." So I quit for almost a year tattooing and just helped them run the trucking company until I could hire people to do my job and I could leave. And the first thing I thought of was going to Ottawa because I remember they had, good party times, good drugs. Crazy Frank could always you know, hook you up, right? So I get to Ottawa and I get to his building and there's yelling and screaming and shit flying out the windows and stuff, and his girlfriend's throwing him out because he cheated way too many times on her or something. So I walk up the flights. I'm like, "What the fuck is going on, Frank? Man, I can't." He's like, "What are you doing? I haven't seen you in like over a year." He's like, "Yeah, man, I came. I quit my job. I'm ready to start the life again, and I thought you hook me up. You want to go to Montreal?" I'm like, "Yeah, but aren't you busy right now?" He's like, "Oh, fuck that." He picked out a bunch of shirts and pants and some underwear. Literally put it in a garbage bag. He's like, "Let's go to Montreal." All right. I only went to Montreal like twice before that, but never seen much. And yeah, he showed me up, and he got me to open up a little tiny shop, literally fucking few doors down from Artistic, where they used to be. That block is now. I don't know the last time you were, Sean, in Montreal, but where old Artistic used to be is destroyed. They built a huge park there
Oh,
because
no
that
way.
because that place was just AIDS, hepatitis, and AIDS. Right?
Dude, I'll
So
never forget seeing like, streetwalkers. And
yeah, I have stories.
this one woman had like a gun holster with a fucking like Vaseline like hand pump like for fucking hand jobbing people, and she would just be on the street and be like, "Pup, pup," and then right through the window just and make her $5.
Um,
Ontario Street was nasty.
Oh, yeah. It's not like it was, right? It was not like it was even
Yeah.
20 years ago, but so opened up this tiny little place that I couldn't actually jump up in because the ceiling was like, 6.5 feet, So one day, I've been there for like a month setting it up, painting, cleaning. I put up all the flash on. I was actually open one Saturday, but all the people were coming out of town. I couldn't understand their French, like their Quebecois. I was I spoke French. I spoke but I learned in Bretagne. So their whole dialect was just I don't, and whole families would come like 7 people, like grandpa, 3 kids, all that shit. A cousin, and they're all looking for deals. So I actually never tattooed in there. But one night I was finishing cleaning something or painting, and I left something like 3:30 or 3:45 at night. I remember because I had to walk. There was no more. I had no money for a taxi, so I had to walk like an hour to the apartment. And I come back the next morning, and the whole in front of the shop is closed off. There's a huge spurt. What happened? Transvestite hooker got shot at 4.
Oh,
Like 15 minutes after I left, man. Right in front of I was like, okay, I'm done. Thank you. Bye bye. And started looking for jobs elsewhere.
fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
On Ontario Street.
Yeah. So, okay, I had enough of Ontario Street. Like, I was there for a month and a half, something like that.
Fuck.
Damn. So where did you end up? Who
My
took you
friend,
in?
Studio Tatouage West. They used to be on St. Laurent. That building is also destroyed now. They moved to Laval many years ago. I worked there maybe once or twice a week, man. They didn't have much work either, you know. So I drew, and got the bright idea. I'm like, maybe I could score working at Tattoo Mania. And they're like, oh yeah, you should totally go, man. You draw a lot. You're gonna get a job. Fuck, they laughed the shit out of me. Pierre was laughing. He was had to hold on because I brought my little portfolio of just Flash for the last like fucking 7, 8 years, you know. Some drawings, but and some copies. I was already copying. I was actually thinking of doing portrait, no, maybe not portraiture, but copying fine work, you know. Uh, and yeah, they laughed. They laughed so hard, man. It was crazy. It was humiliating, but it was very a good experience of like, okay, well, fuck this, you know, like maybe I should just work harder. Then went to talk to Safwan, and he pointed like he's like, okay, went through my shitty portfolio. Is like, okay, if you do want to succeed, we only like here's Dimitri, here's this. And when I went to Tattoo Mania, they were the same. This is Vincent from fucking France. This is this guy from United States. This like they're visiting. I'm like, oh shit, these guys only draw. Like, you guys have no Flash. Well, we have Flash for the idiots, but that's about it. So Safwan really put me kind of like straight and narrow. Sorry. So, okay.
Very friendly.
Yeah.
What's the dog's name? Crazy Frank?
The name is Prisha, but she's fucking nuts. It's a Czech Shepherd, so like she's part Malinois. So
Oh, my buddy has one of those. Yeah, yeah.
look, thank God I didn't get a full one. This is just amazing. Like she taught me a lot about anger issues and control and learning how to breathe. But yeah, she's fucking nuts. But best thing ever that happened to me. One of the best things. So Safwan put me on this kind of straight and narrow. I went home. I drew for like 15, 16 hours, showed up the next day. I'm like, well, I got some drawings to show you. Oh, cool. That's nice. When did you draw those? I'm like, last night. Like, what do you mean you draw those last night? You told me to fucking draw. Here's Japanese. Here's some illustration. Here's some realistic. All right. You come in Monday, the same thing like with Dean. Come in, this day and this day, you got a job. But also, no
Right.
fucking money, man. I lived in an apartment for a year and a half, 2 years with no fridge, no stove.
Oh,
To buy even used ones, I used to eat
fuck.
a lot of Indian food because that doesn't go bad, for a couple days. So a lot of curry.
Nice.
I want to dial it back a little bit because you talked about being in France and your exposure to art. And, and when we've talked in the past, I know you had a kind of like a personal education in art, and you named your shop Dada off the. I'm curious about what kind of influence that had on your drawing and the Dada movement in particular. Like, does that have any influence on your art at all?
The absurdities, like
And
appreciating Paul, Paul Tattoo in Montreal,
yeah, yeah,
appreciating because he's so absurd more and having a sense of humor. And I'm gonna lie now and say not to take myself too seriously, but fucking the anxiety sometimes of drawing and trying to make something good and perfect and different, that fucking koi fish again, that I love, and trying to remember Dadaism as absurd and fun, and it's in the end it's art and it's love. That kind of has a thing about it. So I loved surrealism, but once when I found about Dadaism, I read all the stuff and try to influence myself, and I still look at photos and some films from time to time, and little stories when they would have a washing machine and a typewriter race across a Berlin bar, and these guys dressed up in crazy things yell, go, yeah. That's art, no? And like for some people.
Me and our 7 listeners are going to be Googling after this. Data
yeah,
is.
yeah. But it's an interesting thing to use as a waypoint within tattooing because tattooing is people take themselves very seriously, and
Very seriously.
the idea in tattooing is, the highest ideal is perfectionism, and it's interesting that you would pick a different waypoint. Like,
Yeah, perfectionism is definitely, man, I've been there so many times, like, fuck, like, oh, that could have been better. We could have just done this. Fuck, if I only told that client to wait another week with the design, which I actually just did today, because I need more time. I need to walk away for a few days and come back. Uh, yeah, that's something. But at the same time, once again, to bring it back to Paul, fuck, man, like when he draws, he takes his pencil for a walk. That's his explanation. Me and my pencil, man, like torture the shit out of that thing. It tortures me. The paper gets destroyed. How many erasers I go through? Fucking, I yell at the pencil sharpener. And sometimes no, and sometimes you design a back piece in 2.5 hours, and it's perfect, and it's one of the best things you ever did. But try to, it's been 30 years. I'm walking away a little bit from tattooing now because I burnt out a few times, and I did everything, I guess, that needs to be done except now just to enjoy myself properly. So walking away and not taking a lot of clients, and I only tattoo a couple days a week, for this since I moved to Joliet, pretty much since winter time.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I
Is
am
that
waiting for the day that I'm gonna jump back into the deep end again, like that might be coming soon, but there's lots of clients are waiting, but not right now.
Are you toning? Are you scaling back because you just don't have the energy and you want to pace yourself better, or are you really being particular about the projects you take on?
No, the projects, yeah, of course I say no sometimes, right? But it's not the art or the idea, it's the client mostly. Like, oh, dude, no, I'm not gonna sit 30 hours with you, and entertain you and hear your bullshit. And do you really want to listen to my stories that I told 1,000 times already? The stories are getting better and shorter, they're not I cut back, but no,
Oh,
no, not being picky about the clients, yes, but no, right now, no, yeah, I just wanted to like fuck off like a bit. I live in the
yeah.
country. My woman is amazing. She has two great kids we get to spend time with, two dogs. She has a koi pond and aquariums. I in the morning take the dog out at 6:37 in the morning. I look at the kois, like it's awesome. Huge backyard, forest right in behind. Like, fuck, why would I want to like run back to the shop and just deal with somebody that I don't particularly feel like dealing that day with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're finally finding a little bit of life balance.
Well, I burnt out a few times during the years, and I just fucked off. I quit. Actually, Francois, my brother in France, he brought me back twice. Like I was sitting in his shop drinking one year, and he'd just be feeding me drinks, and he's like, "Oh, Simon, look at this little heart. You could just fill it in. Look at the little flower." And after like a few days of this, or a week or two, I'm like, okay, no lining, but I will color the shit. And after a few tattoos like that, I get back into lining. Next thing I know, years pass, I'm working my ass off again.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
what is your process like with clients and taking on new projects?
Total new clients, I'm pretty difficult. I'm still an asshole. Not as bad as I was years ago, but I'm still a little difficult to see their reactions faster. Like if they're gonna be difficult about this shit, then fuck it. Next, like I can't. And but once now it's mostly old clients. Like the last couple months, I haven't been tattooing people I've been tattooing for 15, 17, 19 years. So uh, they're finishing their bodysuits basically. Not just totally by me, but I'm the I'm like the guy in Montreal that does the neck, the armpits, the fucking loins, you know,
Loins.
cheeks. Yeah, I'm like the guy like they come in to finish their suits with me and shit. But the process. So yeah, once I try to keep the unless I'm really maybe excited or I'm not sure, but I know they're sincere, I'll make the first meeting like in person or even over the phone to make them comfortable as much as I can to find, and also to find out as much information as I can, but as little too, like 2 minute consultation for a back piece. Great. See you in fucking couple months. We're done. The
Yeah.
people come in, they take their pants off, I shave them, and we tattoo. But the people that make it very, they're not sure, they're not quite sure, but they love your work and all that stuff is like, okay, well, we never worked together. So the shit that I like, you don't for sure. Nobody does. So please show. Oh, but I know artists don't want to see other people's work. Fuck, man. If you show me something, I'll know how to do it, and we can figure it out. It's not a big deal. By now, like, oh, fuck, like whatever. Unless it's Shige's fucking 200-hour back piece, then I'm like, no, we're not doing that. But yeah, the process is that like try to do it as clinical, but also I got humbled a few times by being an asshole, and people pointed it out. So I try to like just to reinforce them that this is gonna be good. And then the poor folks come in, and I have this fucked up sketch that makes no sense, that nobody knows what it is. You know, they look like they're gonna start crying. I'm like, hey, I know what I'm doing, and they're happy, and then they come back, for another sleeve, another back. And some days I have actually a finished drawing because I actually had fun, but process, yeah, it's all every client's different, every piece, my fucking mood. Did I sleep that night?
Yeah.
Do you
Uh,
have do you have it planned out ahead of time? So someone comes in for a sleeve, and they come in for their first session. Do you have all of it planned out in your head and maybe partially drawn, and then you draw a bunch on the body? Like, what's that look
yeah,
like?
the big stuff, yeah, backgrounds and movable things. I usually freehand, try to stencil as much stuff because sitting there drawing a sleeve for 4 hours is not feasible either for these poor people, right? They're gonna be fucking hungry. Did you just eat? Yes. Okay, now stand here for 4 hours, scribble and erase shit, right? So no, that's all. Like, I won't start a tattoo until I know the final piece is in my head. Like, I know how it's gonna look like. Yes, it's still jazz, and still I want to have fun, and things will get rearranged while, right? There might be a slip up, or suddenly, shit, this guy's skin isn't that as good as I thought it is. So, but that's all in the notes. I take pretty extensive notes and measurements and photos and all that stuff. So somebody's a little bit more hairier, or their skin is older, or they like the sun, or they're South Asian, or fucking Sweden Vikings. That's that all gets put in the notes, and the details will change, right? So the same fish on 7 different people will most likely be 5 different fish, and I'll copy the 6 and 7.
Yeah. I really got to up my process. My process is in my Google calendars. It'll say
Dragon.
Dragon.
Well,
And
no,
then Julia, my girlfriend, has access to my calendar, and she'll be like, "I was just looking at some of your stuff that you have coming up, and why don't you have phone
Dragon.
numbers?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Oh yeah. No, like this is a guy I've been tattooing for 18 years now, and this is his consultation list. So it says snake, cover up, details, and I have photos. But I could fill this whole page with like paragraphs of shit too.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
for first timers. I tattooed this guy, he's South Asian, I know his skin, but his front, but his neck, his head, his legs. Now we're doing a whole sleeve, like 15, 16-year-old tattoos, like just shit black line work. So that could be it. Like there's not, I don't think I even have a phone number on there, right?
Totally.
But then I wish I could show you something else. I should have prepared maybe, and it's just paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But then yeah, so there's I did a little painting of a cut up sushi koi. I don't know if you can see. So these are all little thumbnails of how am I going to design it, It wasn't
Oh,
that big.
crazy.
It was like, maybe 18 inches tall or something like that, right? So then people see that like, you fucking actually do that? I'm like, yeah, I had fun. That was actually a blast. And I kept it. I painted that in the winter, and I still look at it. I'm like, I should do that more.
Yeah.
So, no, it's always different.
I think every tattooer, with a few exceptions, are like that. Like, fuck, I should do that for every fucking tattoo. Like, I had so much success. It was so easy, and then never again.
There's those sleeves. You wake up at 6 a.m, you draw it by fucking 7:45, take a shit, walk to the shop, prepare the line work. The guy comes in. It's one of the best tattoos you ever did. And then there's the ones where you spend weeks on drawing and designing, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
no formula. The moment that Philip Liu in that interview in Tattoo Artist magazine said that he quit a bunch of time, I'm like, thank you, fuck, man. Of course, we're not all perfect, Of course we fuck
Yeah.
up. But there's those tattoos that you look at from time to time. I still, that little narcissistic part of me looks at it and I fucking smile. I'm like, God damn, I kicked some fucking ass.
That's how I feel about the latest sleeve that I just finished.
Yeah.
It's a good thing because I ended up starting to date her. So I see it every day now, and I'm like, I'm so glad that's my favorite sleeve I've ever done.
I don't think I ever do that.
Oh man.
Girlfriend's been pushing me to add a snake. She has a bunch of tattoos by me, by Paul, by Hori Massa from Horikoshi family,
Joe.
and she wants a snake to fit in there and stuff. So we even went to the shop. We didn't do it at home. I freehanded stuff. I Mac tacked her, and I have it on my desk for the last week and a half. And yeah, she's tattooed. She has a whole half back, thigh, ass, leg by me and stuff before we ever dated. So that's cool. But now that we're together, I'm like, oh,
see it every day.
you sure
Yeah.
you're tattooed by Dave Cummings,
Yeah, totally. Oh, yeah. My partner, she always says she'd like to get a tattoo. She has none, and I'm like, I ain't doing it. I'll pay somebody.
Yeah, go see somebody. What do you want? A snake? Great. There's this, and this.
Totally.
Yes, yes.
It's got something to say to you for sure.
She doesn't like when people talk to me when I'm sitting at my desk. Like the girlfriend can't come. Like if I'm
crazy.
painting, she just guards the area. She jumps right up and barks.
Crazy.
Yeah, she knows I'm working.
Yeah.
Usually I watch porn or Reddit or something like that.
She doesn't love his masturbating.
Yeah.
Come on, everyone masturbates to Reddit.
Well, that's since they changed their shit, and now you have to sign in to watch a Gone Wild and all that stuff. So I stopped looking at it.
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
my god, fuck. So, yeah, you jumped around a lot.
Yeah,
Where
sorry.
you traveled. No, like you traveled a lot. Like you just like, what was your first tattoo convention you ever did?
Fuck. Oh, Nick's. When it was in behind the Toronto City Hall. When was this? 98 maybe?
Holy fuck.
Yeah. I didn't tattoo. We had a booth, but I didn't tattoo because there was like Bob Everett there and stuff. Is Everett?
Yeah.
Bob is
Yeah,
first
Bob Everett. Yeah.
Paul Booth doing the craziest demon penis on this guy's hand for like 4 hours, like a 25 Magnum. Like, Jesus Christ, we all know it's a penis. Are you fucking? How can you get away with this? Brian Everett was doing the smallest little portrait of a little girl. Fucking one needle. I even asked him. He was very sweet. I love his tattoos. He was a big hero of mine. 3 and a 5 mag.
Oh my god.
Like for 3-4 hours, this little black and gray, perfect, most amazing thing. Jack Rudy was there, met him too. He was fucking awesome. Nice guy. It was a big convention, actually. I forget the name of the hotel, but
What year was that?
98 maybe?
That was like, is that the first one?
I don't know. The first one was actually in Blue Mountain or something like that, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I
and
do
then
remember that.
Toronto came, like they brought it to Toronto. So
Yeah.
this was either the second or the third or something like
Oh, that's crazy.
Crazy.
that. I never liked conventions though, man. That's not for me. It took me a very long time to realize that I have so much anxiety and so much pent stuff, like that's where all the drinking came from and stuff too, because I couldn't do that stuff. So
Yeah.
the moment I realized, I stopped. The last convention I was at was the first St. John's, and that was like 10 years ago or 8 years ago.
Yeah. A while ago. Yeah. Dave Monroe show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave
I still haven't
Monroe's.
made it out.
He asked, and so I went, and I'd love to. I love the guy. Like I didn't really know him, but I'm like, I know so much about you, and you're friends with so many guys. That yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
supposed to be like 50 of us, and in the end, there was something like 85 or 90. Right?
Yeah, Dave's such a solid guy.
Yeah,
So solid. I feel bad that I haven't made that show, but fuck, man, it's like you can fly to Australia for the same price.
Paris is cheaper.
Yeah. Fuck,
And
like
I have
Saudi
Makes no
Arabia.
sense.
and I have like 15 flights to Paris a day. St. John's is 2.
Yeah.
Fuck. And yeah,
Yeah.
it cost me like $900, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I go out there, I want to go for a month. Like,
I
Yeah.
think I might go next year because the best fucking people ever, first of all. The city's lovely. Dave Monroe is amazing, a great host. Put up with a lot of my bullshit. And now I hear it's Airbnb central. Like when we went, there was 2 Airbnb rentals in the fucking city.
oh, no way.
So there was one for 1 room, 1 bedroom, and then there was one a house. So I rented the house, and like Rich Hanford stayed with me, Dave Knight, tons of other people, Rob Noseworthy, all that stuff. Like they were just spread out on the floor, on the couches, everywhere. Because there was no place to stay. The fucking hotels were taken. Everything was taken. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And leave it to tattooers. Of course, there's nothing left because tattooers all plan the last minute.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I'm going to fucking
Yeah.
St. John in a week. I got to get a room.
Poor Showdown merchandising in Sylvan Lake, just like they know a convention's coming, so they get all the presses ready because it's like, hey, can I have these 50 shirts done for tomorrow?
Actually, I was bad with that. I think I got that Airbnb like a few months before, so I laid it out. And more and more people were coming, and there was no place to stay. I'm like, well, I have a house. If you don't mind sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you still do guest spots, though, right? You're not, I know you used to come out and visit Dave Knight on the West Coast. And
Before COVID, nobody visited me really like as a guest spot. And I haven't visited anybody for 3.5 years now.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
But I want to. Ottawa's not far. I have tons of clients there. Maybe I'll go. Kingston is also not that far. But we'll see. I don't know.
So you just working by yourself now?
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
I had when I first opened the shop, every month there was a guest artist, coming in either for a few days or a whole week. So I was happy. A few weeks alone, and then somebody in the shop. Fuck, man, let him work, have some fun. But yeah, since COVID, fuck, man, it's been a little. It's another
Yeah.
reason I was like, yeah, I'm closing. Fuck this. I don't want to travel to Montreal and have a shop there. And now I have a little tiny studio, actually downtown Joliet, which is funny. But
Is it street front or is it?
well, you can't tell. I'm not gonna put a sign or anything for a while.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like on the main drag, which is a block and a half.
Awesome.
Like, it's a retirement community.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Which
there's-
means a lot of real estate coming up soon, so it'll become a new young community.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's in the last 3 years I've been visiting here. It's changed a lot, man. They're building so much condos.
Yeah.
There's so much new people here, like immigrants, like Africans from Africa, Latinos, like Chile and shit. Well, it's just American Africans. That's like I mean, Black people from Africa, like proper, and they speak French too, because that's who
Yeah.
Quebec wants here, right?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
surprised there's a lot of Latinos here, but there's so much farms that I guess a lot of workers just come and move and work on farms. So they're
Okay.
building a lot of condos in the boonies and the outskirts. So in the next few years, it's definitely going to be a different town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is like,
You got in on the ground floor.
yeah, there's 3 tattoo shops like around the corner from me.
No way.
Total that they've been there for a while, but total cliche. One is a total hippie, witchy, like
Yeah.
place. Wannabe biker, black and red, everything. All kids with facial tattoos and shit. And another one was just very generic, but they had their window broken like a year and a half ago. It's still broken, so I don't know how
Oh.
much they really make. So I was thinking of actually, I'm like, maybe I should just ask for a job or do guest spots. I'm like, fuck this. I just
No.
got my own place.
Yeah.
Totally. You moved out there so you didn't have to deal with bullshit. So don't
Yeah.
don't put yourself in that
And as soon
position.
as I started asking clients, like, "Hey, you want to come out here? It's only a little extra drive," and they're yeah, like people from Ottawa, Gatineau, it takes them quicker to get here than to downtown Montreal.
Oh, sweet.
The people that bypass the plateau, like all the construction and all the shit in Montreal, so like from outside of Montreal, it's only like 10-15 minute extra drive. So
Do you find your clients enjoy the private studio experience more, or do they miss the?
everybody's nice and sweet, and who knows if you can trust them. Oh wow, this is a really nice place and stuff. It is not a small, nice place. But,
No one comes in and is like, "Fuck, what the fuck is this?"
I got plants and paintings on the walls and shit. Oh, good music. What else do you want? I gotta sing.
Oh, amazing.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh, cool. So what's you got any plans for the rest of the year? Are you coming out to Calgary for the big convention?
No,
Oh,
oh. It's
no,
Paul's 40th
really.
40th anniversary for the shop, or 40
That's
years tattoo. No, it must be more than 40 years tattooing.
party.
yeah.
Yeah, they got a documentary and they're having some big dinner. I'm hoping to crash all of it.
Yeah. Hoping to get all of them on the podcast.
Just show up at some dinner and movie with like podcast gear, like just
So what's going on? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
yeah, totally.
GoPros on our foreheads and on our chests and cameras and microphones.
Oh fuck.
It's gonna be one of those old school parties. I don't know if it'd go over that well, but probably.
I'm good for about 2 beers in a night, and that's it.
Yeah, I noticed you guys were drinking whiskey with a few of the guys and stuff. So
Not
sorry,
me,
but
just Sean.
oh yeah, not you. Okay.
Yeah, not just water. I
Yeah.
can't handle it anymore. My fucking days of drinking are behind me, sadly. Sean and I used to fucking just get fucking right destroyed and be a nuisance.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I used to go visit Dave and bring a U.S. gallon jug of moonshine with me, and it would last us 2
Who made
days.
the moonshine?
A guy named Paul on the Sunshine Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, and he
Oh.
just gave me a jug. He's a really good friend of Piot's, and yeah, he'd give me a jug, and
We would just get high off of moonshine.
Oh yeah.
dude,
Just
moonshine Caesars and moonshine paralyzers, straight moonshine shots, just moonshine, moonshine, moonshine.
yeah, totally. You go to the bar and people will be like, "Oh, what do you have a drink?" Oh, is this big? We can do the moonshine. We're gonna leave you alone.
Oh fuck, yeah.
Oh,
Can't do it. Can't do it anymore. I can do it a little bit, but definitely not like that anymore.
yeah.
A couple beers during the day. Like I said, I don't do anything, so the poor dog, now when she sees me taking out a beer out of the fridge, she grabs her ball, like, we're going out? Yeah, okay, go to the backyard, chill with Yes.
She knows you're talking about.
Oh, fuck. She heard ball. She's like, what?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, there's certain things I can't say around her. I made the mistake.
Yeah.
Too much. Too much fun.
Oh,
Oh my god. All right. Are we at that time, Dave?
I think so.
All right, Simon. We got this portion of the podcast sponsored by Kevin P. YYC, Homestead Tattoo in Calgary, Alberta. And the big question that everybody hates is...
Who are your top 5 favorite tattooers?
Yeah. Well, as always, Tintin, right? Like Tintin forever, like
Tintin from France.
yeah, Tintin from Paris. Well, Toulouse, Paris.
Toulouse, yeah.
Yeah.
His
Fucking,
stuff's amazing. That guy's been at it. How long's he been tattooing?
I gotta be 40-something years for easy.
Yeah.
He's in a commercial. Did you see that? He's in some kind of commercial for some kind of...
Because
kind of...
he did a chocolate bar commercial years back. It was
Oh, maybe that's it.
He was
I
like
just saw it.
dancing with
Yeah.
men, bikers and sailors.
Yeah.
But I don't know now. I haven't talked to him in a few years, so I don't know. Luke Atkinson for sure. The classics. Like he can't fucking can't beat that stuff.
Rat tattoo.
Yeah. Fuck. I was supposed to get tattooed by both of them, but life gets in the way, and also traveling 6,000 kilometers is sometimes not the best.
I don't know how clients do that. People that travel like to see Steve Moore and stuff like that to get bodysuits, like traveling from the East Coast of the States. Like that's fucking no joke.
I feel bad. Like I visiting British Columbia so many times. So especially now COVID's over, like all these guys started flying back. I feel bad. I'm like, oh, fuck. It's like I don't even have an excuse to charge them properly because I don't have to pay anybody anything anymore. It's all, this is my money. I'm like, just give me whatever. But even from Ontario or from the east, like more east people coming in now that COVID's over, like it's awesome. And finally, haven't seen a back piece or a bodysuit in 3 years.
Yeah.
So that's nice. So Dave Knight, obviously too. I love his work and always did for 23 years now that I know it.
Yeah, you guys have had a really tight relationship all these years.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah. What? Second Street, right? Yeah, Second Street.
Yeah,
and
Second Street, Sydney.
Vancouver Island. Check him out, people, if you don't know who he is.
Where are you going to check him out?
Well, he has a website.
Oh, does he have a website? Oh, okay. He didn't even have that for the longest time.
There's no social media really.
Yeah. Well, you can just Google image Dave Knight. You'll get a couple old pictures.
I can remember like people passing around MySpace photos.
Never got into that either. I almost got Facebook this year, and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, don't.
Fucking.
Paul just actually friended me on Facebook a couple weeks ago, and I was blown away. I was just like, "Is this the Paul I think it is?" And it is. I was like, "Oh my
god!" Amazing. That's 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day. But like, what the fuck, I thought that maybe I'd be funny and like, fuck tattooers. How about some chefs, that really blew me away.
Ooh.
And
that's another podcast.
Yeah. No, but watching some of these cooking shows like Gordon Ramsay's like Best Restaurant, like the old English version, not the American bullshit that they tell him to be a vulgar piece of shit. He's an amazing, obviously accomplished dude. But fuck, man, watching them work in the kitchen sometimes, and Anthony Bourdain and stuff.
Inspiring, man.
That's cooking, That's like, tattooing. That's the same exact shit, except maybe they care more. We're spoiled. We only have.
I think you're kidding yourself. I think they're going to be going through the same shit we do. They're going to have nights where be like, I just fucking mailed it in tonight. I didn't even care. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Like how many times do I got to prepare the same fucking dish? Like,
instead of a koi, it's salmon.
Somebody asking it for can you make this well done now?
Yeah, totally.
So
I think creative people deal with the same fucking shit.
I know that you did all this background water, black and gray, but do you think we could put blue over top of it now?
Oh, I'm so happy. I don't get to hear shit like that anymore. I haven't heard that in years and years. I think maybe that's why I chilled out and got happier, because the moment I started saying no and fuck off, and my favorite used to be, that's gay. You know, like that's the gayest tattoo I have ever heard of. I don't say that anymore, but but it used to be funny. But the moment I just no, man, no, this
I
is
need.
what I do. You did find me. You just told me it took how many months to find somebody you like.
Yeah.
Let's do this process and figure out our piece, and we're gonna do the best thing ever, right? So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I need to learn a lesson from that. My day today was a nightmare because I didn't set clear enough boundaries or listen to that voice inside me. It's just
That voice inside you, right?
yeah, it's there. It's
It's
loud. It's
screaming.
like, yo,
It's screaming.
stop.
No,
This isn't gonna work. Oh no, I can make it work.
no, but
What was that voice?
Yeah.
it's a dragon with chrysanthemums and water. Like this is gonna be so much fun. But the client is like, my voice is like, this is not your client. Don't deal with this guy. Just say no. Tell him to leave. Go get tattooed by somebody else. Don't. No, it's a koi fish. It's a tiger. Like fuck. It's gonna be so much fun. No, of course it's not. It's a nightmare. And then they come back and they want another sleeve, and you're like, fuck no. I actually said that out loud. I was like,
Oh,
maybe I
it's so
should.
hard to fire them once you've tattooed them and taken money from them.
Yeah.
Once the tattoo's finished, you're not obliged to do it again, right? But
Oh yeah, it's
you
hard
also
though.
don't want to make them hate their fucking tattoo and the thousands of dollars they spent with you.
Yeah,
No, of course not, right? And that's the thing I think a lot of people don't realize is like not all personalities get along. Not all personality energies get
no,
along. It's like, a client shouldn't have to deal with sitting somebody that they don't really like and get tattooed by them forever. The same way we shouldn't have to deal with sitting with somebody just because somebody is offering us money doesn't make us obligated to
No,
do
totally.
it, right? And you get
I
some people where it's
say,
like, well, you're an asshole because you said no. It's like, I'm protecting you and me by
yeah,
Yeah,
saying no. Like,
yeah,
this is going to end up being not a good thing, like 3 hours in.
yeah, oh yeah,
Like,
with like 15 minutes sometimes.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
right? It's like, and,
with
and then
everyone
everybody has their own ways of creating those boundaries. And yeah, some people are nicer about it, some people are less nice about it. And it's like, but that's all it is just creating boundaries. And so many people just get offended. It's like, what? And it's like,
no,
yeah, there's a
I
lot of great
traveled
tattoo.
all this way from where?
Yeah,
Laval, 20 minutes away. The person next to you is from Kingston. That's 3 hours away. Next person is Ottawa. And they just came to actually to meet me and to spend time to see if I'm an asshole, if I'm worth it, or if they're not worth it for me. I say it with every new client at the end of the consultation, like this is, or even now I say it in emails, like before I have a consultation. This is so we can talk, meet, see if we can work together, and if we want
smart.
to spend time together. Like
yeah,
so many people were pissed off at the end of the consultation when I said no. So now just to protect that and to warn them so they don't come with a fucking attitude either, right?
Yeah, totally. Well,
Everybody have days, but
everyone seems like they deserve everything, right? And they figure if they, that's just this, what is it, entitlement? Like, and I don't mean it in like the privileged way. It's just like everyone feels like they're entitled to buy whatever they want whenever they want, right?
yeah.
And that
just because
includes
they
your
don't.
service, but
Click Amazon Prime. Click do that tattoo. Click.
I wish I remember this was a female tattooer. She died in the 90s. And supposedly on her, she was like with Carrie Barba and all, like in California. And on her tombstone, supposedly, or in her letter, because she knew she was dying, she said, everybody gets a tattoo they deserve.
yes,
And that
Yeah.
stuck with me. And over the 30 years, I understand it totally differently. You
yeah,
know,
Oh,
25
oh yeah.
years ago, I understood it a certain way, the assholeish way. 20 years different, 15 now, 30 is like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So you owe me
I just saw a post by Carrie Barber. She just beat breast cancer. She is cancer
sweet,
free
Awesome.
awesome,
this week.
fucking
So
great.
that's, fuck cancer. Good news.
Yeah,
So we lose too many of the great olds in tattooing too soon. So
yeah, totally. You owe us two more tattooers. You
Yeah,
really tried to sidetrack that thing.
yeah, I don't know. Gordon Ramsay. But Paul, Paul Tattoo, obviously, I love him to pieces. He taught me how to keep my absurdities in the designs, and it's supposed to be fun, and it's not supposed to be a stressful fucking anxiety ridden uh, episode every day, or drawing or tattooing. But a fifth one, man, I really don't know. There's fucking so many, right?
I know the fifth one's the hardest one.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wish
because
you
all the
many-
other ones that you don't mention suck.
I
All
wish
of your
you had
friends,
many
all of your
maybe it should be you.
all your friends are gonna tune in and listen to this, and then be like, "You better fucking say my name on number 5."
I don't have any more friends, Sean.
Oh, that's bullshit.
I don't think I have that many more friends.
Well, as you get older, you get fewer and fewer. I mean, that's just normal. But
Yeah,
You get rid of people, people get rid of you.
and fucking just happens, right? Like,
life.
yeah, fuck.
I would okay for the fifth one. Yeah, I did think about this while walking around. I walk around a lot. I think I take Horimasa from the Horitoshi family. Because what he did in the
So,
last 7, 8 years, maybe a little more, 9 now. Fucking guy. Not only he got the permission to be let go by Horitoshi and go explore the world, but he reinvented himself. He went from doing Horitoshi's work, then his work, and now he's doing this solid white pointillism, black and gray stuff. That's just like fuck me. Dude's amazing. We still talk a little bit like here and there, but I wish I miss him. I haven't seen him in years. But yeah, I'd say Horimasa because you know example as me tattooing for 30 years and trying to kind of redo something, reinvent myself a little bit, and start something again, which I'm kind of doing. Fucking work for tons of people, work for myself, had my own shop, left that, closed that, opened this, did that, traveled. For Japanese, somebody like that, like a Japanese coming from a heavy duty family, is fucking nuts. So if people haven't seen Horimasa, there's a lot of Horimasas out there, but this is
yeah,
it's a Horitoshi
yeah.
family.
What's his Instagram?
Uh, Horimasa is Horimasa. Because there's a bunch of Horimasas, but they all
There
have
is.
fucking underscores and shit, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
uh,
so funny. There's so
oh
many.
yeah, underscore Tosui. So Horimasa. Oh no, is it underscore? But Horimasa Tosui, Tosui, and a lovely man. And we spent a lot of time together and drank and tattooed and shit. He let me try Tabori on our fucking client jumped up. Massa went like, Jesus Christ! He jumped the dude once. Like, it's not a fucking chainsaw. It's like, the way you did was, okay, here, take it fucking back. And I've been watching these guys tattoo for years. Ichibei stayed at my home with Shinji, also from Horitoshi family. And Ichibei never did Tabori before. I just went through a major breakup with a girlfriend, and we're all drinking, ordering Chinese food. They love fucking Chinese food, and so we're
Everybody does.
yeah, everybody. But it was funny from the Japanese, kind of like, really okay, and and so he wants to learn. He's like, Simon, take your pants off, and we're all drinking. I'm sitting there drinking. I'm like, I don't want to fucking get tattooed today. What a fucking mistake. I could have got Ichibei to do his first tabori on my leg. And then
I'm surprised you were drinking and you still had your pants on.
yeah, me too, actually, because I don't think 'cause it was really hot. I had no air conditioning. I don't think we had pants on, so maybe I'm motherfucker shaved his leg halfway in between the backyard and inside, like in the thing, so he gets a breeze. And since she's showing him to do it on the side of his knee and stuff, it was awesome. I actually got up and was like, "Fuck, I should have got this done." He was doing that little cherry blossom.
Oh, it would have been quick.
No, no, but he was doing it for a couple of hours.
Oh, man.
It was
Uh,
like at a certain point, I think I fell asleep. I woke up, they were still doing it.
Incredible.
No thanks.
Oh, fuck. Simon, it's awesome.
Those are 5 tattooers, I think. There's obviously
Yeah,
500 more
of course.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
inspired and helped and, pissed me off so much that I got better.
Yeah, yeah. I almost
Yeah.
think we should change the top 5 to like who are 5 tattooers you want to get tattooed by.
Ooh,
Or
that's
like
also not enough.
That's also super hard.
I
But
know, but it
well,
takes the pressure off of the best, like
Oh,
people,
yeah, true. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
That's depends how old you are. Because now, like, fuck, yeah, I want to get tattooed by Luke, and we talked about it in Tintin. But fuck, I'm not getting tattooed anymore. What the fuck? Fuck this shit. It does hurt, but fucking, being 48 and healing for 3 fucking weeks for a black and gray tattoo that's done perfectly, fuck that. That shit would have healed in like what, 5 days, 20 years ago? It fucking itches for 3 weeks,
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
just
god.
get tattooed and then I just go to jujitsu afterwards.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I just get it
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
I'm getting tattooed tomorrow.
Like my cover-ups of my cover-ups of my cover-ups finished.
I'm getting tattooed tomorrow.
On your head?
Oh no, not tomorrow. That's next Friday. Yeah, my head.
What are you getting? Oh, okay.
Getting a hairline.
I never got a cover up yet, or did I? I actually don't know. I always wanted to get a cover up, but I don't think I ever got a cover up done yet.
Fuck.
I was
You're
lucky-
not missing anything.
No, I think I was lucky enough to be surrounded by shitty. Either I was young and scared and stupid, or I realized that I'm surrounded by really shitty tattoos.
It sounds like you're young and scared and smart.
No, not the first few years for sure. I would have been working for Bill Baker if I was smart.
Simon, you've had an incredible career. Not only is your career full of incredible stories and humble beginnings, but where you sit right now with your ability and the work you've created, it's most of us would only aspire to have a life that full. I think you should be really proud of what you've accomplished and lived.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I think you guys' lives are pretty crazy too. I have questions. Maybe we should spend the next hour asking you guys stuff.
That's not, no, it doesn't work that way.
I'm gonna start my own podcast.
Yeah.
Do it.
Here.
I'll be a guest.
Yeah. The first rule of podcasts, if you ask to be a guest, you don't get on.
Yeah. 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 I get people all the time. Like Dan was telling somebody the other day, oh yeah, just email them. And I'm like, yeah, they don't want to do that. And Dan's like, why not? I'm like, because Dave and I decided when we were recording our first one, they were like, what do we do if people start asking us? It was like, we both agreed. We immediately
no.
say no, and we never have them on. Doesn't matter who they are. They could be the most famous tattooer, but if they ask to be on, it's like, no.
Yeah, too bad.
You didn't ask to be on this?
No, you were.
I mean, I asked not to be on
No, we were. You said no every time, repeatedly.
Yeah, well, you guys had still now. I don't mean in the beginning, but like the first few, there's such diverse and young and fun people that I was like, wow, this is great. Keep it going. What's the point of having somebody? And we already, put me on the internet, fucking, famously or infamously or however.
No, you know what? That interview, that raw one I put up from the docuseries was probably one of the most well-liked and well-received interviews I put up.
Good.
People really relate to that stuff, man. Like it's honest and it's no pretension or anything. It was great. Like tattooing needs more of that. Less pretension, more honesty,
Yeah. It's time. We do definitely, we wanted to we definitely want to get I want to interview all the people that I want to hang out with. Right.
Yeah.
I want to interview cool people, but then I also want to interview all these young people. And that's how a lot, especially Luna, when I met Luna and then I was like, dude, we have to have her on the podcast because her art is so fucking amazing. So I definitely, this is for two old guys to actually reconnect to this younger community and get to know all these new people.
Wait, Yeah, because even if you go to conventions every fucking weekend, you can't talk to everybody.
No.
No.
If
Happy
people are
if you
busy.
meet a couple new friends and you have to reconnect with all the old ones you haven't seen in a year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And people are fucking anxious at conventions and working, and it's not a great environment to
Drunk as
like.
fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need more than 5 minutes to really connect with somebody, you know, like
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
17 people interrupting you during those 5 minutes.
totally.
Oh
Yeah.
man, oh nice to see you. Oh hey, or not even you, but to or the person you're talking to, looking over your shoulder, seeing if he can talk to somebody more famous, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I'll just get out of the way here.
That was the
Steve, they want to talk to you.
Yeah, I hadn't seen Bill Baker.
Steve behind me, yeah.
I hadn't seen Bill Baker in like 15, 16 years, and he actually came. He was at the Montreal convention a few years ago. I've been with it a few years ago now, and I went, and he was in the back the whole time. And then he came out, and we were standing just kind of out in the open talking, and then all of a sudden I could feel it. All the people starting to like circle around. It's like that's Bill Baker, right? And it's just you can see everybody like, I'm going to say hi.
Now's my chance.
Are you guys coming to the Montreal one or?
I'm not. No, I'm going to Texas.
Yeah, I can.
Texas. What Texas? What convention?
No, I'm skipping the convention, and me and my girlfriend are going to eat barbecue for a week.
Oh fuck! Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So yeah, and then we have Calgary in October, and then that'll be the last convention until spring. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buckle down for winter.
Yeah.
Well, you guys don't get much winter. Well, you got the fires. But...
We got tons of winter.
I'm in Alberta now. I get tons.
Yeah, we get snow all winter, man. We're up in the mountains.
Yeah.
They're already starting to scare us. Like last winter was fucking bad. Like so much precipitation that the person that comes and does our driveway here already picked up the price for $50 for this winter.
Oh wow.
So,
It's the fucking government, dude. They want to bury you in snow. It's the 5G in the snow. Haven't you heard it? Totally.
My dog loves it. It's like cocaine for her. So fuck, I don't have to do much. I just dress up and let her go crazy. So I'm happy. And I love winter too, So and like
winter's the best.
This year she's gonna be fully grown, so we're gonna get her sledded up and pull the kids around in the.
Nice.
They gotta have cross country skiing out by you. You should get some skis and take her out for a run on the trails.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not really into sports that much, Since I started.
It's like walking on snow with skis on.
Yeah, but
Guys, I appreciate you so much, both of you. Thank you so much. I am burning up. I have off this. I'm dying.
Yeah, I should be asleep for like an hour already, so you guys can.
Well, Simon, thanks for staying awake, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Sorry for looking, tired as fuck.
You look great, dude. Don't worry about it. We're all fucking old.
15 hours.
Where can everybody?
It was great getting to know Curly and this amazing guy that tattooed with one arm. The customer had to stretch his own skin.
So I did get blood poisoning from him twice. Yeah, twice.
Ed Hardy brought this whole Japanese influence into American tattooing.
Once Dave Shore come onto the scene, it was like tattooing completely changed.
If anybody could say anything about greaseball Japanese, it's fucking Dave Shore.
Salty, piratey, bikery, just hard not to do.
Man, he'd pull in on his chopper with the tattoos and the girls, and he was just like so cool, man.
He captured vulgarity and pleasure and insanity and recklessness.
Tattooer in the 80s or 70s, just not the same, you had to be a tough guy.
I was scared shitless. Even though I was kind of a biker guy, these were bigger biker guys,
I'm not totally sure you could paint the picture accurately to somebody now getting into tattooing about what it was like then. And the only reason I would say, or I feel that way, though, is because they might not believe you.
We had the limo waiting for him with all the lines of blow lined at the airport. This is the way we do it in Canada.
In like 80s, 90s, Paul Jeffries was like the king of tattooing. It wasn't just in Canada.
Like, am I supposed to stop tattooing? Because if this is what I'm supposed to aspire to, it's not gonna happen.
Each one of these old masters influenced groups of tattooers, who in turn influenced other groups of tattooers.
The True North Strong Tattoo Book. This is a massive tattoo encyclopedia of Canadian tattooers. 350 pages. It's an 11 by 17 coffee table format. Sean and Dan worked tirelessly to get this thing out, and sadly it never made it to print, so it's available for free download at theholdfastsocialclub.com and championtattoo.ca.